soldiers, it's your boy, the Anime Sage, along with Drew from Waifu Universe, and we're doing the Sage's Sanctum podcast, episode 2. So, yeah. I guess, introduce yourself, Drew?
Hello, I am Drew from Waifu Universe. If you don't know stuff that I do, I've done What If Alexander Anderson Was Trained by Deku, which is a collab I've done with Anime Sage, but we also done other stuff. I specifically bring this one up a lot because it's an underrated series and we really want to bring it back, but currently a lot of people aren't watching it for whatever reason. So if you have a reason why you're not watching it, let us know in the comments down below.
Yep. Alright, so I think it's time for, and you all know who, well, if you're on the channel, you know who I am, but if you subscribe to me, but whatever, but whatever, I'm famous. I can't do the same thing here, because whatever, because this is my channel.
I mean, that's why this exists.
Yes, it does, yay! I have voiced over Alexander Anderson on Drew's channel and in certain parts. So I would suggest you check out the series. It's really good. So, Alright, let's go to our waifus of the day. Okay. So since I made a video about her and how to rate material, I'm gonna use her for today. Esdef from Akame ga Kill. She's something else, if you know what I'm saying. She is really something else. She can freeze me anytime she wants. I want them thighs.
Yeah.
What about you, Drew?
I'm gonna go with Tsunade from Naruto.
Hey! Let's go! Them jugs!
A lot of people think I don't know a lot about Naruto, but I honestly do. I just need to catch up a little bit in Shippuden because I accidentally dropped off because I just got tired of watching it.
Oh my god, yes! Tsunade, give me them jugs! Give me them jugs! Oh yes, both of them! Yes! I'm getting way too excited here, but whatever.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I get way too excited when it comes to my waifus.
I mean, that's why this topic always exists for every single podcast.
Yes. Oh my god, this is we are probably going. We have a nice range of topics for you guys at the moment, and this should be kind of fun for us to do. Well. So, I guess our first topic should be, should DBS come back? As in, Dragon Ball Super. Okay, so should Dragon Ball Super come back? I would say, yeah. There are some good portions in the manga that are coming up, and I would like to see some. It would be pretty interesting seeing them adapt into the actual anime at times. But I feel like Dragon Ball Super also kind of wasn't the best Dragon Ball series, if we're being honest. It was kind of a step down from Z at time. It was definitely a step down from Z, and arguably it kind of had some very weird plot hole moments. We have Trunks using the Z sword and a spirit bomb combined. And yeah, they're just some. But at the moment, the DBS manga is kind of heating up a little bit. I'm not gonna say any details about it because I have seen some of them. But I'm not. But it'd be pretty cool with the momentum that's coming up with DBS at the moment. I would probably have to say that it's gonna be it could be pretty interesting seeing some of those manga scenes added into the actual anime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I guess for my answer to this question, I was actually gonna say no.
Really?
And here's why. I think when you look at the movies, I think they're better than what the anime is giving us. I honestly do.
You mean the Broly movie?
Well, remember, there's two other ones. There's the Beerus and Frieza movie, which basically were the same thing in the anime. That's the problem. Like, if the movies are better than the actual show, then what's the point of adaptation when you could just skip over to where we need to be at?
And it's like, that's another thing I didn't like about DB Super. Like, it just like rehashed entire arcs from like movies, essentially. Like the entire plot, like it would have been different if it like maybe had like picked up at like the Goku Black arc.
Because that would have been fun. Like, that's where you pick it up at.
But instead, they decided for some reason to like fill up space to like, you know, you just like fill up more space, and it's like you just like fill up the space for like I guess an entire like DBS series, and like you just like let's just rehash these arcs and stuff like that. That with one movie that was actually pretty good and one that's kind of mediocre. I think that people know which ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know a lot of people didn't have favorable things to say about Resurrection F.
Yeah, it's not the best, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's just like, why are you trying to... I feel like in my opinion, I understand where people would probably want to be like, well, and I feel like another contention would be like, it's going to be animated by Toei. I think that's something that we got to consider here. Or maybe it could change the animation studios. I don't know. But like, it's most likely going to be animated by Toei again because they have the rights. Because I think they have the rights at the moment.
Yeah, I think Toei themselves has some issues internally, in my opinion.
They're busy with One Piece and Dragon Ball,
which are like two of the most impactful like series that came to Japan, honestly.
Yeah, but they've also been on like other projects themselves as well. I don't know, like they have like some underrated anime stuff like that. I forget which ones there are though. But like they have like a lot of different art series, and they've at times had their issues with like One Piece as well because like they've kind of messed up the pacing there. But that's like another issue for another day.
It might be on a certain rant podcast.
Yeah. Well, someday. But like on that podcast, we got something even more. We got some a lot more serious there to talk about.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about a bit more serious stuff for that one for a little bit here.
Like when we're saying that this that type of information is serious, we're like not even joking. I literally read an entire 28-page document about it. It's bad.
It's darker than the last one, so if you like darker stuff, check out that podcast because that's where it goes.
Self-promotion.
I mean, I have to. I'm on your channel. I want people to not miss it.
True.
I mean, you have every right to say the same on that podcast, so I don't see a problem here.
I know. No, I'm not. There's no issue there. It's just a joke.
What else do we got to talk about?
Let's. I feel like we could probably still. I think to like go into like more of DBS. I feel like when we go into like all this type, I really want to see those arcs of the manga animated, but like if it's going to be on the hands of like, but if it's going to be like, if they're going to like have like these like weird issues in like plot and like have it like animated by Toei, like let's just hope they do a good. I hope they like do a good job, but like there's just like so many different issues with like Dragon Ball at the moment. It's like, yeah.
Well, that's how movies make more sense to me because they put more money into the animation. Like, sure, there's plot holes, but that would be the same thing with the show, it seems like. Because when you watch them back to back, it's like the thing that you're getting from the movie is like a better soundtrack, better animation. Like, you're getting a lot of pluses that the anime can't really provide you besides new content. Yeah,
because like anime is like you have like with like a movie, there's a higher budget. Because it's a movie, it's like 2 hours and you're going to see it in theaters. When it comes to like an entire anime show, it's going to be they're going to have to make it a lot more cheaper, and they're going to have to like at certain points outsource it, which could be the same thing for like a movie, but you probably would want to make sure that it's outsourced in like more capable hands. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, at least outsourced in-house or to other studios that are trustworthy with their animation skills.
yeah, but meanwhile, it's like you got there's like more episodes that are going to be there's going to be seasons that are going to be longer than the movies, and they're going to be even longer than the actual movie that you're going to produce, and yeah, that is going to result in a lower budget and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, you could always do build up. Like, for example, if they wanted to like release a couple of episodes, it's like, all right, guys, you gotta go watch the movie in theaters to see the big old fight. I'm sure people would do that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair statement.
Because at least the viewers will actually enjoy it more, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you don't have to throw as much filler, because a lot of the filler that happened between, I don't know. It just seems like it could have happened in the Goku Black arc anyways. They had to fill time for it. It would have not really messed up the timeline too much.
Yeah.
Or at least have it happen before, and then it leads up to this.
Yeah. Has anyone picked up Dragon Ball Z Kakarot yet, by the way?
I haven't, because I'm too busy working on videos, that's what I'm doing, but I do think that from what I heard it was okay for most of people I talked to, but I don't know. I think it's a mixed bag, sorta. It looks nice.
I feel like saving my money at the moment for like Mega Man Zero remastered.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
It's like the Zero games, like ZX and Zero collection, all in one game on Xbox and PlayStation and Switch. So like the original DS titles are right there. They did the same thing with the Mega Man Legacy Collection. They're now doing like the Zero Legacy Collection here. Capcom has been better recently, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
I now if they can remaster Battle Network and Star Force, I'm buying out those games I'm gonna pre-order those games. Not capping there. I'm not capping because like those were the Star Force was something I grew up playing, and if they have like a Battle Net, and I didn't really grow up with Battle Network, I grew up with Star Force, but if I could like play those games like one Legacy Collection, oh my god. I'm about to be hyped. I'm about to be hyped.
I know with me, like I got introduced to Dragon's Quest 4, which was interesting way to start the series. And I'm trying to play through 5 now, and I might go backwards to play 1 through 3 later.
Dragon Quest is a good RPG. I've played it a bit before on DS.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have the 4th one. But I also have Chrono Trigger as well, which I want to play or at least watch a playthrough of it. But the main issue with that is I know it's super grindy.
Yeah.
I mean, so is Dragon's Quest, but
I cannot wait for Zero. I wonder if Zero Collection's out right now.
It might be.
It was supposed to have a release Mega Man.
I ended up finding this like lost Chrono Trigger OVA that Akira Toriyama actually worked on, allegedly. And I can't wait to. I might watch it some point, but it's not dubbed, so I'd have to be reading stuff potentially. But I don't even know if it's subtitled.
It's gonna release in February.
Ah, okay.
Oh my god, let's go. Let's go. I love Mega Man so much.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess since we're kind of getting a little bit off topic, why move on to our next topic of the day, which was Digimon is back, baby. If you guys have been living under a rock, Digimon is getting a remaster. It's going to be remastered. The original anime is going to be remastered in 2020 this year. So, yeah. So, how do you feel about this, Drew?
it's hard for me to relate because a while back Yu-Gi-Oh also got a remaster, but it was never translated over here. It's just done, you know? It's like you kind of feel like, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing really, but I'm just not that excited for it, you know?
That's fair. That's fair. I'm like very hyped because I just love Digimon. Like, Digimon. I grew up watching like Digimon Data Squad when I was a kid. Then I watched it like the original series and the other and like the sequel series to that, which was very well done in my opinion.
I mean, for me, if this was like Bleach or something, like sure, I'd be super hyped for it, but for me, Digimon's one of those more massive franchises. Well, not super massive, but decently relevant. I guess that's
I
what
don't.
I'd say.
Yeah, I feel like it's not like in like big free level. I think or like
Well, I
even
think
like
it's big 3 level if you compare it to Yokai Watch, Pokemon, Digimon. That's what I would consider like its own big 3.
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Because there's subcategories of big 3, you know.
Pokemon is like transcendent. I think Pokemon has transcended both of those though. In my opinion, it's like one of the more popular because we've seen now it's like one of the more profitable franchises at the moment. But I feel like Digimon's better as an anime.
Well, there's the same thing with One Piece. It's basically transcended everyone else. It's still going.
I don't know if that's that. I can make an argument of whether that's a good or bad thing. I don't know about that. It did recently get outed by Kimetsu no Yaiba for sales, I believe.
Yeah.
My feeling is like that. I don't think it's like just because the series is running on longer, it doesn't mean it's that good. It was kind of my issue with like Pokemon for between like Kanto and Alola. I just felt like it wasn't that. It's just like to me, it just kind of had like a lot of waning quality.
Well, for me, it's like I think after Black and White ended, that's when I felt like this thing shifted a different direction from what I wanted.
There's like I felt like there was like a linear. To me, I felt like it was like a linear story going on, but it kind of like shifted a bit after like Diamond and Pearl, which I kind of noticed as a kid.
Yeah, when I started watching, understandable.
When I watched Black and White, it kind of like it was kind of weird. Like it was like I didn't think like Ash was making mistakes. I didn't think he could actually like make like him trying to catch like a deerling on like with like a single Pokeball without weakening it, which is weird.
Yeah, I'll agree. It had its weird moments, but I think as far as stories going and like the relevancy that Team Rocket finally got to play in that series, like that's what really changed it up for me.
I'm sick of them. I honestly got sick of them.
Well, I'm talking about like Giovanni and stuff. Like Team Rocket really was something not to mess with in Black and White. Like that's what they're built up to be.
Yeah, I admire that, but the problem I had was like I got sick of them in Diamond and Pearl, and I was like done, and I was like right, and even as they got more evil in Black and White, I'm like they then went back to their usual ways after Giovanni stuff happened, in the later seasons when Ash is like going around the islands.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it disappeared. Like at least that's what made Black and White stand out more to me versus the other series. It actually gave it a purpose.
This is kind of why I like get into like these types of discussions. It's why I just don't think the Pokemon anime is that good. I just don't. I think it's just like I don't like where the story went looking back. It's just like ugh. This is talking about someone who's actually like who's watched a lot of the series. I've gone through Johto, Kanto, like Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, the works.
I'm actually excited for your remaster of your Pokemon rewrite series that might come out in the future.
Yeah, I probably am gonna like remaster like I might try to like redo part 3 and make it a lot better. And eventually, I'm kind of hit a writer's block for the moment, but like I want to get back to writing that series again.
I might help with that, but we want to see how part 3 goes, because it's similar to the Anderson series. Like, after part 3, it sort of fell off. And I released part 4 because I just happened to have it done.
I had like plans to like doing like SX Arena, but like I feel like I did a good job with that series on the first go around though. It was like pretty good in my opinion. In terms of like writing quality. Not like, you know. There we go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. It was like, but it's like very interesting. Like I love writing the rewrite. It's kind of fun to do because I can pick back up the mistakes I feel like Pokemon made.
Yeah, it reminds me of like how my editor's doing his version of rewriting the Boo Saga a bit. Because it's not like a traditional like what if scenario. It's actually trying to create a different story elements and stuff, you know.
Yeah, so yeah, and quick thing, subscribe to Manga Adventures, Drew's editor. See, I can see promotion, baby. Shout out to him, but he's actually pretty good. I've seen his content before. It's really good. It's really good.
He's really underrated.
Yeah, I'll post him on the community. I'll post him on a community post after this episode airs or something like that. And like, but he's really good.
Yeah, hopefully if you encourage him enough, he might do other what if series.
Oh, legit, he is like a good talent. Holy crap.
Yeah, he's really been helpful for me during these really rough times, because not being able to like get employment, but with his help, I think I can at least have my channel live on, even if I have to leave you alone, you know? Like, that's the weird part about this, but that's what happens, you know?
It kind of, at times yeah, that does happen. Yeah. Man, like, Digimon is like, man, but like, man. I can't, like, it's so, I'm pretty hyped, though. I'm pretty hyped. At the moment, again, but like, I was just like checking out Manga Adventures. He's really good.
For sure.
Quick question: did you ever like watch the original series of Digimon by any chance, or like any other series after that?
I probably saw a couple of episodes, but I don't think it caught my interest during the time it was airing.
I say that's fair.
Because there's other stuff that I got into, like, I think I was reading the Bleach manga some point around there.
I see. That's fair. What would people think about like this what if idea? What if Digimon were MHA?
Well, there's a lot of people want to put Pokemon in MHA, so might work. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's actually kind of fair. Alright. I guess we can move on from that topic, but again, be ready. Digimon coming back in 2020. New MHA movie in February. Will we make what ifs of it? Well, yeah. But, like, let's just talk about this. So, there's going to be a new MHA movie coming out soon.
Yeah.
And I think it's coming out next month, I think, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can watch it in theaters. If I can, but knowing where my area is, it might not show up, or it'll show up like in AMC and I'll have to shell out a lot of money for it, but
I'll try to check it out. I'm not much of a movie guy myself though, because like I just like prefer watching television shows in like sequential order versus like anime shows and versus like movies.
I just like the theater experience with movies. I believe in the last podcast we talked a bit about that.
Yeah. There are like good experiences you can get from watching a movie and stuff like that, but like, you know, it's just like it kind of like,
well,
you
the
know,
thing is you get to meet people who actually like the show, like whoever shows up, unless they're like theater employees, they're just there.
Oh my god, those poor theater employees.
It's fine, they could watch movies without context.
True.
Like, I feel like the first My Hero movie you could watch without context, actually, thanks to Deku recapping so much. I'm serious though, Deku recaps so much. That's one thing I don't like about My Hero sometimes. He just says, like, my name's Izuku Midoriya, and I got this, and blah blah. It sort of reminds me of another character who's done this. I'm forgetting the name of the character. Oh, it's similar to Spider-Man, actually.
Oh, interesting.
Like, think about it, it's like, my name's Peter Parker, and I'm Spider-Man. Because even Spider-Verse played fun at this idea. They actually did, if you remember the movie, when they did all those character introductions.
Yeah.
Like, they actually made fun of that concept, which I actually liked.
I feel like it's gotten tamed in like stuff like season 4 and stuff like that, but like dub form, like, or actually more so I just like watch like I've been watching more like sub stuff like that. But
Yeah,
it's like
I think it's gotten better once season 4 kicked around because most people know what the show's about. But I think the earlier seasons it had that problem.
yeah, but I feel like we can more attribute that to like
or we're just getting really dull to it. We're just like, we're watching a show, it's like, okay, it's here.
Yeah, probably. Or we're more like numb to it. I feel manga though is really heating up though in MHA. It's really good.
Well, it's the same thing as Super. Like, Super has a really good manga right now.
And I feel like the difference is like with Super, it's like MHA is better than like Super at the moment in terms of like show quality and stuff like that. But because again, they're taking off like a lot from the manga, of course. But like you know what I'm saying.
Well, I think it's a newer show, so it gives it some benefits.
And it also has like, I feel like it has like, and it of course didn't rehash like 2 arcs from like the first 2 movies.
Yeah. We're just mentioning that because the MHA movies are weird, like how continuity works. Like, as far as I know, they're supposed to be canon because there's one filler episode that sets up the first movie. So I wonder, is this movie just not going to be canon potentially because we haven't seen anything that leads up to this?
I heard it's more connected to season 5.
That could be it. Like, this might be a season 5 movie, and they're probably going to tie something back to this somehow.
Most likely.
Or they're going to try doing season 4, which could happen, because they have that one arc that's going to happen.
Bro, that festival arc is going to be interesting, because you get to see, like, the characters act like high schoolers. Which is kind of at the end of the day what they are. They are high school students, and they haven't had much time to have some downtime.
I think the sports festival is a good example of that. There was like semi downtime with it, but there was actually like an arc that happened between.
And there's also like competition and stuff like that.
So
but this one's more like
a casual thing.
This is more like relaxation, stuff like that.
Because the arc that'll precede this will definitely change stuff.
Oh yeah, it's like the calm before the storm.
Yeah, I think that's necessary though. With something like this, it'll show character growth for a lot of characters once this happens.
Yeah, I agreed.
Let's see. I guess we are gonna go more into our advice type of stuff, because for this type of podcast, we like to do that every once in a while.
So yeah, let's start off with our tip of the day. How do you guys start making your own what if? Alright. I feel like I could probably just like summarize this in like a different type of. First off, everyone does start off somewhere, so that's fine. But I feel like a couple keys are here. 1, you need to have some decent audio quality. 2, you need to have at least some semi-decent editing. 3, my opinion, you need to like, if you're just starting to start out, you need to find like a decent idea that has been at times that hasn't really been done before, or an idea that has been done with as much. It's not like oversaturated. That's kind of just like my free feints right there.
I think another thing you can think about is like if you want to learn how to make what ifs, you can read fan fiction, but don't go out of your way to just plagiarize it, and like just claim it's your own. It's like we know people who do that. We're watch them. It's like just don't do that.
Yeah, it's fair to like. It's like we're not trying, and I feel like at the end of the day, it's just like find a way to come up with your own stories. I should just like use scripts to like give yourself like a template right here because it works, because it kind of helps a lot.
Well, the main issue is that not a lot of what if people actually release scripts. Like the only few times I've done that were like with other content creators. I think, like for me, I think for as public audiences, because you don't have this back resource, I would just recommend like other fan fictions or anything that's like posted out there, because people put what ifs on forums. Like what ifs have been around for a while, more than people think they have.
Yeah, and because people always have this like weird question of like, what if this happened? What if this didn't happen? What if this happened? What if this didn't happen?
And more of
feel
it's like related to fighting wikis, because that's when it sort of started, but then it became more story based later on.
Like I feel like that's interesting. I feel like something where we can like eventually get into some other decent stuff around there. You know what I'm saying?
I believe so.
Yeah, I feel like we have like there are a lot of decent, and here's the thing, for like every one of those people, there's like a lot some decent people that you can like that we've always liked to watch, and they have some good quality content. Like we can like it's pretty good, and I'm friends with a couple of those people as well, and it's like I guess I could probably name Drew, for example, but because he definitely has quality content.
Oh, that's so nice of you.
Hey, I'm just trying to spit facts. You gotta like tell the truth, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm just trying.
I think one thing you want to be careful about is trying to do the same what if continuously, because what could happen is like you are gaining an audience, but you might not be gaining new people.
There are probably going to have to be also certain points of time where you should probably like listen to your audience and have them suggest what if you have listen to to the comment section for what if ideas, because people have like a lot of ideas up in their heads.
Like it's interesting at first. Like someone recommended me to do like my own take of what if staying trained Deku. And at first I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I've worked with Plus Ultraman on his, but then I thought about it, it's like, you know what? There is a way I would write differently, and that's how I even started mine.
Yeah, and it's not even like in the most oversaturated. It's not even like the most oversaturated idea right there out there. So
Well, the thing is, like, people will always copy from more popular people. Like it's bound to happen.
It's not, but like don't like plagiarize like word for word. Like that's not. Don't do that.
Yeah, because there's been people who tried to plagiarize like my version of like what if Deku became a Green Lantern. It's like, just stop. It's like, I'll come back and make stuff. Like I'm trying to work on part 6 right now, but if people aren't watching, like I guess I get why you want to try and make your own series, because you think it's just free content to take. Like at least make it different.
Yeah, it's like why like as what if YouTubers we have to like par ourselves and like making content. I always keep my ideas in like a checklist. Drew's seen this multiple times, I think.
Well, the thing is, I've made checklists for multiple YouTubers at this point, because the thing is, like, people want organization, how we make stuff. The issue is, like, not everyone's skilled at that, and that's where I try to come in and help people with that.
Yeah, I've already been able to check off a couple things off the checklist, and then I had to add like a couple more things because, like, in terms of like channel sections, that's one thing in the checklist. For example, like I had to like it was like to eventually try to add like channel sections, stuff like that. That way, I can keep myself more organized. It's very helpful too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because yours is more in depth with what I've done with other people, because other people have different skill variations, you know?
Yeah, it's because like, but it's fair because but I think as someone who's like been on this platform for a long time, you gotta like plan for different things and like think about different things. Or like I've been watching YouTube videos since like 2014, and and for quite a decent amount of time, I've had my own fair share of like uh views and stuff like that, and I've watched a lot of people and do some stuff. And I always have to consider, okay, what will happen if I get to this point? What would happen if I get to that point? What's gonna happen if I get to the next point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, all right. I feel like we can get to like a deep. I feel like eventually you got to plan some stuff out if you want to like take this seriously for the long term. Because if you don't, it's not gonna be fun.
Well, yeah, because think about this: if you try to start a What If series, and then you drop it off because, like, oh, I don't want to do What Ifs anymore, it's like you left that whole audience behind, and they'll probably leave you because of that.
You're not gonna experience like the same channel growth you had like initially.
Like, some will stay just because you're you, but some people are mostly there just to watch your What Ifs, honestly. That's what I've realized as making What If content. It's not necessarily me that they like the actual stories that I create.
Yeah. And people will stay because you're you again. Yeah. And you can at least try to like make a variety of content as well. But like supplementary content. Like that's fine, but like if you try to like abandon the trope entirely, you're going to lose an audience. It's a very massive mistake when you try to like build an audience off of something and then like expect to like have to keep them after like switching up. It's not a good look.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I like playing with coins. It's like, I'm weird like that. I'm definitely weird like that, but you know. Sometimes you need to like get your energy off of with something, and sometimes you need to like get some energy out. You know what I'm saying? That could actually be sure. Actually, that could be another topic. Actually, getting some energy out. So I feel like for people who are like energetic like me, you have to like find different ways to like get that channel energy and like try to like get it out at certain points. So you can either like put it into like stuff like work, or you can like put it into like at certain points like you can even put it into like meaningless tasks like me playing with coins. Literally sounds like I'm brushing my teeth, but I'm not. It actually sounds like that. That's crazy. What would you suggest, Drew?
I would recommend watching other people, see how they do theirs. You know?
Yeah. There's always like these like. It's like, I feel like we have like, I feel like when it comes to like, what monkey see, monkey do and stuff. There's something like saying like monkey see, monkey do. But it can kind of like work. It kind of like applies to a sense to something like that because like, but like it's well, there's a different connotation to that. I believe, but like here you just like be a little more critical and stuff like that, and you know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And try to at least innovate on something like that. I feel like people at times will want. I feel like at times people will at least, you know, eventually probably at times stay for you, but like it doesn't always work out in the long term, especially if you realize yourself to be like a very shitty person. I don't know. I did say I curse, but whatever. It's only one word. That's fine. But
It's late enough in the podcast; it'll be fine.
yeah. Okay, so it's more like you gotta be a lot. How do I describe this? Yeah, at times
You need
you gotta be a lot
integrity,
better. Huh? Yeah.
something like that, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like kind of like that. I think try to say it again because it kind of cut out a little bit.
I'd say like integrity. Is that a good word?
Yeah. Yeah. Just have like integrity to what you do. I think how long has this podcast been going on?
It's been going about 40 minutes.
All right, let's just here's like let me like there's like here's like one topic I have at the top of my head. Should people start coding? Just for like so as someone who's like been in the space of like who has coded stuff before and has knowledge of coding, here's some advice here I would say is like if you're gonna start, I would probably suggest like put in like start in high school and see if you like it. I took like web design, AP Comp Sci, and principles and AP Comp Sci A, and it's an interesting experience trying to like code something. You know what I'm saying? You're like,
Yeah, I kind of understand because I didn't really have that when I was going, but I had other stuff like video production, like Photoshop, because at the time, like, those classes were provided, so I was like, hey, I'll take those. Like, I was interested in them, so I took them.
yeah, that's fair. I remember like some that it's an interesting experience, but again, here my advice is like again, coding is not for everybody. Don't get into just because you think, oh, I could probably learn to code here and I can make a lot of money because while those do have a higher degree, it might not be for you because like, but I feel like a problem with that is like, I feel like the other flip side of that is like people might want to at least find a way to support themselves financially.
Well, yeah, when you have, like, automation taking away a ton of jobs, and you have, like, estimated by 2030, like, 33% of our jobs will be automated away, that's pretty something to think about.
So you kind of have to like resort yourself to stuff because at a certain point you kind of have to resort to like maybe taking thinking about like taking those like higher end jobs because like at times when it comes to like even if something will make you happy, it's not financial struggles probably will make you very unhappy. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Well, I mean, it honestly depends how stuff goes, but that's something more in the Renegon Rant podcast where we talk about that. Sort of.
it's like, we can probably say there's a Renegon Rant topic someday, but probably won't be on like until like another episode from now, because we have on the third episode we kind of have to like talk about the other issue on the third episode. So I think we'll say
it's basically a slight continuation with a few extra topics,
Yeah, and then it's like so we'll say that for like the fourth episode. But
Probably.
but if you're able to like see the second episode of Renegon Rant, you'll understand why we're going to like that type of like notion. Because it's kind of, let's just say, extremely scummy, and it's very, let's just say Alexander Anderson would probably somewhat approve of it. That's how bad this kind of is. Actually, who knows? Actually, maybe not. Holy crap. I don't know if you would.
It's kind of hard to say, like, even in that podcast we did joke about it, but at the same time, he does have somewhat integrity, as we see in the show, actually.
Yeah, it's like, and something like that has to be like talked about. And well, we'll probably have to save that for you're gonna have to watch the Renegon Rant podcast. Drew, do you have any closing statements?
I'm just gonna say that you should be sure to like and subscribe. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Yeah.
Be sure to comment ideas for topics below, because we'll always accept them most of the time.
Yeah, because like we always have to we have like a variety of topics to want to talk about, and of course, and like this is more like a positive podcast experience versus like the Renegon Ram, which is like Renegon ranting.
Especially in the more recent one.
Oh boy, yeah, you guys should watch that. You guys really need to watch that. It's kind of interesting.
You want to close this out?
Yeah, maybe I'll just probably go with my outro. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and again, share the video. This has been your boy Sage on What If Universe on the Sage's Sanctum podcast. Sign out. Peace. YEEHAW.